The subject of Sasquatch is an interesting one, to say the least. And it is incredibly fascinating. At least, I think so anyways. There are many flavors of experiences which are offered through various means from experiencers. Perhaps one of the more mainstream themes portrayed are sort of a terror in the night type of theme, and even sometimes in the daylight. These have been known to leave life-changing impressions, sometimes even leaving a bit of PTSD for the experiencers. I have heard enough of those to where I believe them, and I do not wish to have that type of experience myself. Then there are those who describe a benevolent experience or impression left, and at times there may be some sort of relationship that develops along those lines. I have also heard enough of these types of experiences where I believe them also, and this would describe the types of experiences I have had. One word I sometimes use to describe what I have sensed from Sasquatch is courtesy. Very tangible courtesy. This fascinates me to no end, and has been part of the catalyst to thrust me full force into attempting to understand a sliver of this incredible enigma. One area in this that I am attracted to, and often deeply touched by, is the essence of Sasquatch seeming to help people, either via a healing, saving their life, or even enriching their spiritual knowledge. In this video, I will be sharing some insights and wisdom which have been received by people from the Sasquatch and are along these lines. If that is not an area of interest to you, then you might not take much from this video, besides confusion, frustration, and maybe even rage. If seeking to learn more about Sasquatch is something of interest to you, and also if spirituality is an interest of yours, then I hope you will enjoy this as much as I did putting it together. I personally wanted a sort of condensed version of this that I could turn to from time to time, as a reminder of sorts, as well as something I can continually learn from over time. I find deep insights, such as the ones which follow, seem to be planted as a seed and then grow and flourish over time. Along with that intention, I also found much of this fascinating and quite aligned with my own spiritual understanding I have amassed through the years. Following are some video clips and audio from people that have received insights from Sasquatch. Some have received these experientially, while others have received them through mind speak and telepathy, which is becoming a well-known aspect associated with Sasquatch experiences. As much as that may be tough to wrap the mind around, which I completely understand, as I personally was not looking for that type of information when I began looking into the subject a short time ago. First are some insights received by the late Kathleen Odom, a psychic medium and shamanic practitioner, and Nadine Levy, who was assisted by Kathleen. These are excerpts from the Fur and Cedar channel on YouTube, who is also behind the movie Letters from the Big Man, which I personally recommend. I completely understand how out there this may sound, yet I have found the messages and insights that are passed along by Kathleen and many others to be remarkably consistent. That being said, if you have ever taken an interest in all things like Wayne Dyer, Abraham Hicks, Law of Attraction, etc., you may sense quite a bit of alignment. Some of the channel messages are received similar to the likes of Seth, Bashar, Abraham Hicks, Neil Donald Walsh, et al.
We are your older brothers and sisters. We have been with you from the beginning. Your people have chosen one road, as you call it, and our people have chosen another road. As your people have traveled your road on the earth, Mother, for many, many times, you have weakened and forgotten the way. Your people are mistaken, traveling the path of darkness when they deny the light. The darkness will surely consume them. At any moment, your people can choose to follow the light. When your people make that choice, the light will shine brightly for them, and they will know the truth. It is that simple. Our purpose, as you would call it, is to help all the other ones of your people to know the light. Many walk in the darkness, and it will get darker if they do not choose to expand the light into and then from their hearts.
You say fear comes when light goes away. What makes the light go away? You say you can bring back the light. How do you do that? Mashinta said, when you choose to make light in your heart, there's no fear. If you choose fear to be there, light is small. You must choose to make the light bigger. The light is bigger when you breathe in the light into your heart. Then you can...
I couldn't make any sense of why suddenly this happened to me, and I couldn't explain. I didn't have the vocabulary at 2 years old to explain the monster that I saw that didn't hurt me, that instead made me feel more love than I've ever felt in my life. And it would let me know when I was at my highest point of joy in play. Keep it up. We like you to do this. We like you to feel this level of bliss while you're immersed in learning. Like the sense that you get when you are belly laughing out loud so hard with your friends that you can't stop. That's what they said to me. That's what we want you to be all the time. No, they're always encouraging me to just shine. They say that the light is where all true knowledge lies and unites all of us. So be from that place where you know you're in the midst of it. And even when you feel like you may never feel the light again because of what you've just gone through, you are made of light, so you will never be completely in the dark. You'll return again. So they understand the necessity for being in active communication. They see our need for it, and with our cell phones, or just always checking to see who's trying to connect with us. But they're always teaching me, put that away. Put your phone away and sit and be aware that you're in the only moment there is. So be fully aware that everything that you do in this moment affects everything that has been or will come. That's really all you need. They love showing me, teaching me, look at how different it can be in a matter of days when you go and just be in nature. Even in your workplace, bring it in, breathe how you feel when you're out in that special place you like to go. And when you're upset, that's the best time to breathe it in and be with it. And they would like us to share, reach out to others and simply ask, have you had any experiences in nature that have inspired you? And if so, do you think it's a coincidence? And let those networks form and feel the sense of belonging. That's the most important thing. I've just said, hey, have you ever had any Sasquatch experiences in the woods around here? So many people have, hundreds. And they're delighted to share, and they're grateful that somebody else has. And all have said, I've never been harmed. In fact, I'm intrigued. I wonder, I suppose, what would it be like to have more? So they say, share those experiences. When we are breathing, we're breathing in the life force that we are connected to. And we're breathing out what's no longer needed. And it's so important to do that fully. Take a breath from within, from the center of your being. And a deep breath, take a breath all the way in. And be aware that there is a space between the in-breath and the out-breath. That's also key. And then breathe out fully, the full capacity of your lungs. So they're always encouraging that and always asking to notice the breath. Everything begins with the breath because your heartbeat is connected to that breath, and their hearts are connected to ours. They encourage us always to feel from our heart, to feel them, because you cannot know a Sasquatch and you will not be with them until you begin to know your own breath and your own beingness. The Sasquatch can be incredibly impassioned, and what they do with that, it translates into very loud vocalizations with a full range of emotions expressed sometimes, and sometimes their expressions can seem so intense that you wonder if you're going to be killed by it. Their vocal range is so incredibly large that it hits you physically in the chest and you feel the vibration of it. And usually they're expressing from such a high level of joy to be together that for me it's it amplifies your own experience of joy, but you're also keyed up. You're really quite literally vibrating from their presence, and then when they feel that in you, it amplifies it even more. But they know how much you can take because they're feeling it right along with you. I haven't seen them angry, but I know that if they were upset, oh my gosh. If that's their happy, if they're upset and they're trying to send a message to drawing a line or a boundary like don't come any closer, and they let you know, there's no doubt you'd respect it. You'd be completely powerless to be any other way than to respect it.
One of the reasons for these structures is to gently introduce people to who you are and have it in their face, so to speak, so that you can say, hello, we are here. Can you see us? Kind of a gentle introduction. I believe that's true, but are there other reasons why you make the structures?
It is to alleviate fear that there is something out of their reality that exists and will become a part of their reality sooner than later. It is a physical inundation of time and space.
Yeah. So it is an introduction to people so that they can be introduced to you without fear.
Yes.
One of the things that I was told by the Sasquatch people about 12 years ago is that they're going to start going out and talking. They're choosing certain people that have a high vibrational frequency, meaning that they are of a spiritual nature, and that they wanted to connect with more people because they said that initially that's their purpose. So they want to connect more with people and come out And the only way to do it safely is not through academia, because they want a body. So who do they go to but people, again, of a spiritual nature to come out through the public?
Their heart awakens and opens on their breath. It is that simple. If the hairless ones will for one moment focus on their breath only and make their breath in their body, and then feeling their heart connection to the all one, to all that is, as you say, then they will be in their hearts. Release all fear. Fear dims the beam of light reaching to the heart. Fear slows down the beam of light reaching to the heart. There is nothing to fear. If the hairless ones continue to fear, they will be in darkness, and it will be more difficult for them. If the hairless ones do not disappear the fear, the darkness, with the awakened light in their hearts, then they will disappear. Our people want to help your people see the light, be the light, unquote.
What would the Sasquatch like to share about themselves, like with humanity?
We love you. The Sasquatch wish all to know that we love you. We appreciate each of you, younger brothers and sisters, and we honor your existence for being here at this time, very simply, laughing, smiling, dancing, being in joy, acknowledging the spoken word from the heart, to not use your words in such a harsh manner, to not relay conversation or meaning in such an aggressive way. We are curious beings who have observed the many generations of time, and we saw the growth of your people from many generations. And we know that you have the capacity to heal not only yourselves, not only the collective, but also the planet.
Yes, when I connect with the Sasquatch people, it's very much through the heart space. I found that if you try to analyze it with your logical mind, that the connection is definitely not as deep as when you connect with an open heart. Well, the Sasquatch want us to know that they are our cosmic elder brothers, that they are our blood relatives. They were here on the earth much longer before we were. They've been there, done that, a lot longer than us humans have. And although we do have our own free will and choice, and we're responsible, for our own selves and the actions that we take, they're here to be great guides to us and to help us in any way. So if you feel drawn to them and want to connect with them, just open up your heart space and allow them in and ask them to share what it is that will bring you to your highest self, or to the highest truth and understanding that you need to know.
I'm 100% convinced that Sasquatch are non-threatening, and I know for sure that the only way you can have anything to do with them is if you have pure 100% love in your heart for them. And that you have to match your vibration to theirs, and as humans we tend to have such a low vibration most of the time that's why they stay away from us. But for the humans that can elevate their heart space and have that love, then you have the chance at experiencing something just out of this world phenomenal. A love like you never knew existed.
Can you talk about love that surpasses all understanding? You did kind of, I think, grace upon it, but I've heard you say that.
Kashima told me about this time, and he called it the knowing. And what he meant by that was actually the understanding.
Wow.
And that was this love, this feeling that, like this one friend of mine says, I got the Love Zap.
Brian Bland? Brian
Yes,
Bland,
and
yes.
Without question, the most important knowing ever gifted me by the Sasquatch people is what I refer to as the Love Zap. It is the very foundation of everything I am doing today in trying to educate people about what they are here for at this time. Its effect was so profound that I recall that I was openly weeping from the beauty of it, from the absolute beauty of it.
And
Yes.
you can get it. And I've had several people that I've been with in different places who were just literally brought to tears because it is such a powerful feeling. In that feeling, there is no fear, there is no hate, there is no judgment. There is only this total acceptance of this universe on a level that humans don't generally bring themselves to.
Wow.
And as we get into this time of the knowing, understanding what this is, then we feel that
Okay. Wow.
more and more and more. When you're in that space, there is nothing wrong in anything. It is such a complete feeling. And it's in that knowing, being able to call that to ourselves and to feel that. It's not just, it doesn't just belong to them and them giving it to us or helping us feel that. It belongs to anyone who can become that space. And
Wow.
that is one of the major things that they do try to bring to us is that space where and I have trouble even explaining it. And until you feel it, you can't truly explain it to anyone else. It's definitely something you have got to feel to understand. And you may not be able to put it in words, but there is a part of you that understands that past anything else.
Keep your hearts open. When your heart is open, the fear is not there. And this allows us to connect from heart to heart, which is how we connect as a people.
If you come from a place of love in the heart, that's a high vibrational frequency. Love, joy, peace, happiness, that's where they operate at. That's where they dwell at. So it's no surprise when people say, how is it that you can see them or feel them, but I can't? Have you done the work?
So since we were introduced to the Sasquatch, the forest people, I've had several just in their etheric form come hang out at my house. And they have the most amazing energy about them. And I feel like home. And they come and they remind me to play. They telepath me subtle messages. I've not had whole conversations in English because I don't even think that's necessarily how they communicate. So they'll come and just nudge you to play, and they'll nudge you to go ground. That's how they work with me. They remind me to go outside and be in the forest, because I tend to overlook things like that when I get hectic in my busy world.
Always such heartfelt joy and love. I use many of their teachings in my healing work, and I know that they also help in my healing work. So they're very beautiful. I know that they love when we drum to them, when we play flutes, when we sing. They absolutely love it. And they are not particular about the song you sing.
No,
They
anything.
love any
lullabies.
Silly, lullabies, Christmas songs. They just love the vibration of song. And they also love for us to dance. They love for us to be silly. And above all, they really do like us to play.
Yeah,
They like us
play
to
is
have
important.
fun.
It helps to remind you who you are in your heart, so it's important.
When you are contracted, you are in a box. It is a box that you make for yourself. It is not real. Opinions make a box. Fear is the greatest box maker. If you are thinking of lack, smallness, what you don't have, you are thinking of what isn't, not what is. How can you create it if you cannot think it? Discernment is good and should be exercised often. Discernment is not limited, as opinions and judgments are. Fear of lack of love, money, health, is the biggest cause of contraction. Contraction does not consider all possibilities. Contraction does not leave room for faith. Faith is knowing what you do not see. Faith is needed for unlimited creation and possibility in the All-One. Most of your people think they know what is best for them. In fact, most of them use a very narrow vision. They arrived with expanded, infinite vision, but few of them use it. Expanded thought from the heart, expanded vision from the heart is essential to the manifestation of overflowing abundance of joy, love, health, money. Your people continue to work on this one. They are getting it. We are patient with the speed in which they are getting there. Look at a human who has wealth of money. The more he or she attracts, the more he or she attracts. Look at one of your people who manifests a physical ailment and then attracts more and more of the same. Look at one of your people who has a smile and it gets bigger and bigger and it spreads to many others. That is expansion. Complaining, criticizing, judging, shrinking, feeling fear, all are part of contraction. Joy, gratitude, allowing, looking beyond yourself, knowing faith, getting out of one's comfort zone, as you would say, are all part of expansion. If you choose to be in your heart, you have taken the first big step in expansion. You are in faith, in your emotion, love, caring, looking beyond oneself. Looking beyond what you see, think to the unseen, the infinite possibilities. If you are in your head, you are not truly looking beyond, but trusting ego to satisfy and fulfill you. Fear is in your head, faith is in your heart. Contraction is in your head, expansion is in your heart. Contraction is a shriveling, foggy heart. Expansion is a beaming, clear heart. Our people like your people to expand. Our people want to help your people expand. That is all for now, unquote.